Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla validating robotaxis with Lidar, even more new incentives on brand new vehicles, Tesla hiding vehicles at Giga Texas, and more, so let's get into it, and a special thanks to Lectric for sponsoring this video. First up today, from time to time, Tesla of course offers software upgrades. Some of them are paid, like full self-driving, but most of them come free to customers. But on the other side of things, Tesla will offer hardware retrofits from time to time. Sometimes this is because they remove a feature, but other times it's simply because they have a new feature that they've introduced, and they allow customers to pay them a little bit to upgrade their car to the latest technology. Or in this case, the latest interior design. Tesla has just introduced a new charcoal suede dashboard upgrade for $250, and they call this the Dashboard Decor Wing. This is specifically for the latest versions of the Model 3 and Y, and comes in at $250. Tesla says, quote, "Upgrade your trim. The Model 3/Y Dashboard Decor Wing in charcoal suede allows you to change the aesthetic styling of your dashboard with a refined look and a deep matte gray that is soft to the touch and made of 100% vegan suede." This is specifically for the refresh of the Model 3 and Y, so 2024 plus Model 3s and 2025 plus Model Ys. This also is something that has to be installed at the service center. So for people who didn't buy the launch series of the latest Model Y, their cars are coming with more of a basic trim there, and they can upgrade to this if they wish. And then for the Model 3, it's also a different material there, or it comes with the carbon fiber version on the performance model. So some people may want to make that change for $250. This is a really specific, small thing, and maybe people really like the look looking up at their dashboard, but I don't think it's something that will be extremely popular or anything, but we'll have to see. At the very least, it's an interesting upgrade that Tesla is offering, and it can be installed at the service center for all versions of the new Model 3 and Y. Now, over on the software side of things, Tesla has been rolling out their latest version of full self-driving, and one of the biggest things here is reduced nags. This is FSD version 13.2.9, and Tesla has made significant changes to the driver monitoring system. In the latest versions of full self-driving, it's not steering wheel nags that are important. It's actually the camera looking at your eyes to make sure you're paying attention to the road, and sometimes this can be very sensitive. I know for me, I was just on a long drive where I needed to find a supercharger, so I was doing so on screen to kind of dial in exactly the one I wanted to go to instead of the pre-calculated one. And as a result, I got a full self-driving strikeout. And the whole time I was trying to ensure I'm really showing it that I'm monitoring the road, because it really seems like you can totally be paying attention to the road, but it doesn't think that you are. In any case, it seems they are working on fixing this because the latest version of full self-driving has reduced the strictness of the interior camera monitoring, allowing drivers more leeway for glances at things like the center screen without immediate alerts. Tesla's VP of Autopilot also confirmed this change and said this specifically was needed, so I'm glad to see this, because a lot of times people are noticing this sensitivity when they're simply trying to do normal driver operations. And the previous system with steering wheel nags was actually a little better in some cases. So now you'll be able to be hands-off, and you'll actually be able to engage with the center screen for important things like routing while you're driving in full self-driving. Of course, though, this gets us closer and closer to that unsupervised full self-driving. For now, it seems like it's still going to be a pretty reasonable amount of time that you can look at the screen before it's going to make you look at the road. But long term, Tesla wants you to never have to actually pay attention to the road with unsupervised full self-driving. This update is rolling out currently to Tesla's fleet. Many people already have it, and some are still waiting on it, and I'm excited to see this roll out and give it a try. Next up today, over at Giga Texas, production is underway for the Model Y and Cybertruck. These are the normal vehicles that Tesla ships out of that factory, but of course we're expecting some new stuff from Tesla. So Joe Tegmeyer, who flies drones around Giga Texas, caught something interesting this week. There's a tent at Tesla's supercharger, and we have seen this here before, but it's obviously indicating that Tesla is charging up a vehicle at the supercharger that they don't want people to see. So could this be the Robotaxi, or could this be whatever new affordable vehicle is coming from Tesla? At the same time, it could also be the performance Model Y. Those are the first two possibilities, a performance Model Y or whatever cheaper vehicle they're coming out with soon, and both would indicate that those cars have some significant changes that people would notice from a drone shot like this. In that case, they need to cover it up. But on the other side of things is the Robotaxi. Of course, Tesla has already unveiled the Robotaxi to us, so there wouldn't be a ton to hide there besides just their production schedule and the fact that they're actually making first prototypes out of Giga Texas. However, we've seen Robotaxis operating around and testing at Giga Texas, so there wouldn't be too much to hide here, unless they're hiding how they're charging it. Maybe they're testing their wireless charging setup, which they have shown us that they plan to use with the Robotaxi. Or maybe they're plugging into the Robotaxi through a secret port that they also don't want to show. Either way, at Giga Texas, we've seen, as recently as last week, Tesla driving around with Model Ys that had covers on the front and rear, so maybe this is one of those cars and they're totally hiding it from view. Either way, it's pretty interesting because Tesla does do a pretty good job at drawing us to see what they might be hiding. Next up today, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Lectric. Lectric e-bikes is one of America's fastest growing electric bike brands. Their e-bikes are easy to use, many come pre-assembled, and ones that require it can be assembled in about 5 minutes. Here I am assembling my Express and taking it for a ride. Compared to my old e-bike, this one feels more refined and really takes it to the next level. It's that difference you feel when a vehicle is designed from the ground up to be electric. I absolutely love how easily this bike changes gears, assists with pedaling, and accelerates with the throttle, among other things. Their flagship Lectric XP model is the third most popular electric vehicle nationwide, just behind the Tesla Model Y and 3. In 2023 as well, they introduced more people to electric vehicles via e-bikes than Ford, VW, and BMW combined. Lectric's e-bikes are affordable without compromising safety or quality, and they were the first e-bike company to offer hydraulic brakes on e-bikes under $1,000. Most of their bikes go up to 28 miles per hour and have ranges over 50 miles. Then their Expedition bike can drive 170 miles on a single charge. They're also super customizable with over 75 unique accessories. On top of that, Lectric has partnered with Beast Philanthropy and other groups to better communities by donating e-bikes and helping build better infrastructure. Join over 500,000 happy riders today by clicking the link in the description below or scanning the QR code on screen. Use code SHAW at checkout to get a free bike cover with your bike order. Next up today, Tesla is always running different discounts and incentives for their vehicles, and right now they're doing a lot in particular. For one, if you use somebody's Tesla referral link, you'll get 3 free months of full self-driving. Then you'll get 0% APR on a new Model 3, 1.99% APR on a long-range all-wheel drive new Model Y. Foundation Series Cybertrucks are heavily discounted. They also have free supercharging attached to them. There's a free FSD transfer option available, and then there are free paint colors and interior upgrades for certain Model 3 trims. Overall, there's a lot of options right now if you're already in the market that can save you a lot of money over the course of ownership. But Tesla just added 2 new incentives. The first one is the expansion of their military discount of $1,000. Tesla has offered this military discount before, but now it's expanded to be military, first responder, teacher, and students. Here, Tesla says, Tesla vehicles are made in America, perfect for everyday American heroes. Receive $1,000 off any new Model S, Model 3, Model X, Model Y, and Cybertruck. Offer available to verified military veterans, retirees, active duty members, their spouses, surviving spouses, first responders, students, and teachers verified through ID.me. After that verification, the discount will come off of your Tesla vehicle order. That's a cool program to see expanding, but then on the other side of things is a new program for Lyft drivers. Interestingly, this is actually kind of Tesla's competitor coming up, but it's another promotion offering $1,000 off for Lyft drivers who plan to use their EV for ride-hailing. This is available on all Tesla vehicle types, so even the Cybertruck, and it gets you $1,000 in Tesla credits upon taking delivery of your Tesla vehicle, if you plan to use it for Lyft. This, of course, could be used for things like charging and accessories for your car, but then you'll receive a $1,000 incentive after the fact from Lyft after you complete 100 trips. So it's really to make sure you're specifically using this for Lyft. It does seem that there is a deadline here as well. Those 100 trips have to be completed by July 13th, and the driver must take delivery by June 30th. This, of course, is the latest in a long line of incentives that Tesla is offering right now, and it's interesting to see because it seems to prove that they're really having trouble right now. They're pulling a lot of levers to try to drive demand of their cars, even the latest Model Y. And I know out near me, inventory is sky high for the brand new version of the Model Y. I can see at my local service centers tons of these cars in tons of colors and various options available. And then when I go to Tesla's inventory website or configure a brand new Model Y in any configuration, it is available to pick up today. So we know all of that is going on, but then this Lyft partnership is particularly interesting because soon enough, Lyft should actually be one of Tesla's big competitors. competitors when it comes to robotaxis. In many ways, this is creating competition for their own vehicles, but of course it's a huge part of their business to sell vehicles, so they really have to focus on that right now, even though these cars will probably soon become their own competitors for their robotaxi network. Now, speaking of that robotaxi network and the launch that should be happening soon there, for the first time we've spotted Tesla out testing a Model Y with Lidar equipped on it. Now, this is the first time we've seen this on the refreshed Model Y. We've seen it plenty of times before on basically all Tesla vehicles. We've seen this on the Cybertruck, we've seen this on Model S's, and we've even seen this on semis. This is the type of equipment we see all other robotaxi networks utilizing. For instance, I was just in Las Vegas and saw a bunch of different types of robotaxis operating and testing from even some companies I hadn't heard of. Zoox is testing out there, but of course the biggest player in this space right now in a few different markets offering the most rides is Waymo, and many are familiar with what their cars look like. Overall, Tesla's approach is to have a much cleaner look to their car because they don't need all of those sensors. But of course, this one out testing has all those sensors, and it's definitely a Tesla-owned vehicle with manufacturer plates. And it's the exact car that they plan to launch their robotaxis with, the refreshed Model Y. In Tesla's case, though, this is only for validation. They are actively validating their camera-based systems with Lidar to make sure it's truly understanding depth and seeing all objects that the Lidar is seeing with its advanced sensors. Their approach is that if they can get those to match, then they don't actually need that Lidar sensor. We've seen this type of rig many times before, as I mentioned, and we notably saw it at Warner Brothers before Tesla had their We Robot event out there. So they actively validated that whole area and made sure that their cars were truly working before they unveiled the full robotaxi. Now, the biggest reason why this is Tesla's approach is first cost, but then scalability. Yes, other companies like Waymo deliver a lot of rides today, but they're geofenced and require many sensors, and then it takes them quite some time to roll out into a new area. Tesla wants to be able to quickly scale anywhere without geofencing, and then to simply be able to software update the cars that are already out there to be robotaxis overnight, so to speak. There are still plenty of questions there, like what these cars will do in significant darkness, in significant fog or rain, or if the cameras are covered by dirt and more. But Tesla has been posting more and more videos testing this system around the world to show that it's expanding well, at least in its supervised form. Here's a video they posted over in Paris, and this of course is showing a much different driving scenario than we're seeing in the United States in most areas. Here's a video of it in Melbourne, Australia, and they've previously posted many other videos in other areas. Of course, we've seen a ton around the US, but they've posted a video in Europe that they say is pending regulatory approval. All of these areas that I just showed you are, of course, pending regulatory approval. So it shows how well supervised FSD appears to be expanding, at least in these testing videos that Tesla is posting, and then how they're waiting on regulatory approval. But this, of course, is in a supervised form. So unsupervised, we'll have to see. How long does it take them to deliver that in particular geofenced areas versus more expanded areas? Tesla has said it should arrive in certain cities by the end of this year. But of course, that remains to be seen, and they've promised us a lot over the years. Now, one way that Tesla has enabled unsupervised full self-driving today is at their factories. At their Fremont, Texas factories, we can already see cars driving from the end of the line to the loading dock. But now reports are saying that this is happening at Giga Berlin. There's not actual footage of this yet, but multiple sources confirm that this is happening. Of course, that's a specific use case, and a lot of people aren't too impressed because, again, that's geofenced, a predetermined route, and may even be a very simple route. But I think this new video really shows what this is like over at Giga Texas. This is a video from Joe Tegmeyer, and he sped it up so you can really see the path that this car has to cover. The car covers a lot of terrain to get to the outbound lot, and here at the beginning it pulls out, waits to turn, and then we see it travel a very long distance on a road that other vehicles are using at the same time. For this video, there's not a ton of other vehicles on that road, but at plenty of other times, it will have to yield to other cars and more, and we're seeing this happening all the time, of course. Now, I assume this is probably an extra cautious version of Tesla's full self-driving. I would guess this is not in hurry mode. It's probably not in standard or chill. It may be even in a more cautious version. It does take a while to take that first left turn at the beginning of this video. But this longer video does give us a great example as to why this is actually kind of impressive. It's not that this is simply going on a predetermined route that it doesn't even need to think about. It has to think here, and it's doing so entirely autonomously with nobody inside or monitoring the vehicle, at least as far as we know. Ultimately, Tesla's goal here is that this is their small geofence version of unsupervised FSD. Soon enough, in June, they'll expand into Austin, Texas, and then they'll be able to keep expanding from there, pending regulatory approval. Next up today, the Cybertruck has had a very tumultuous rollout. Overall, it was very popular at first and extremely expensive. But we knew it was only a matter of time before prices would come down and demand overall because this car would scale up. Tesla planned to really scale up production, and they've done so, but demand has dropped more than they expected. Demand actually dropped so much so that Tesla wasn't even taking trade-ins of the Cybertruck. It's extremely rare for a company to not take a trade-in of their own vehicle, and usually if they're doing that, it's because they don't even want to deal with that used vehicle in the future and have to deal with turning around and selling it. But one thing that's known about Tesla is their trade-in values are pretty low across the board, and the Cybertruck is now no different. Tesla has now reportedly started taking certain Cybertruck trade-ins from customers, and we can see this customer's quote on a 2024 Foundation Series Cybertruck. So this car is only about a year old and has 6,200 miles on it, and the customer's trade-in offer from Tesla was $65,400. Now, new, this car is about $100,000, and on top of that is $2,500 or so of fees plus taxes. So here, Tesla is taking off already about $35,000 of value in a single year. That equals about 35% of the value of this Cybertruck in only a year. So put another way, that's about $5.60 per mile driven that this customer had to pay, at least in the first miles of driving this car. Notably, this is actually a better value than other people like Carvana, who have priced Cybertrucks as low as $54,000 or even lower, with some customers reporting depreciation as much as 50%. So it's good to see that Tesla is now taking trade-ins of the Cybertruck, but the value is just not good, and them valuing their cars this low is not a good look for the Cybertruck and its depreciation overall. This is of course stacking with Tesla's difficulty that they're already having selling the Cybertruck because it's already a high cost. Even the upcoming long-range rear-wheel drive version is coming soon, but it has many reduced features and it's an increased price of $70,000 before the tax credit. Before they announced that that would be $62,000, and of course the new version has more range, but it's coming in at $70,000. And again, this is a car that was originally supposed to be $40,000. So they have that, and then they're competing with 2024 inventory discounts and used prices like this, plus all of the other things going on with Tesla, and just the general stark design of the Cybertruck that not everybody wants. We actually saw some of the effects of this in Q1, where the Cybertruck was no longer the best-selling EV truck in the United States. The Ford F-150 Lightning surpassed the Cybertruck in sales at 7,913 for Q1, whereas the Cybertruck was at 7,126. It is worth noting that there was a stop sale for the Cybertruck due to the recall of the cant rail, and that surely contributed to this lower number of sales, but it's being surpassed by the F-150 Lightning, which many did not expect to happen. The main reason behind this that most are aware of is just the price of this car, and there are plenty of customers out there who have held on to their original reservations to wait until the price maybe comes down in the future and keep their full self-driving price locked in at $7,000. For a while, this was a pretty big deal for Cybertruck reservation holders because they locked in a $7,000 price for FSD, and that had increased all the way up to $15,000 at various times. But now that system is back down to $8,000. In any case, Tesla is now forcing these customers who have this locked in to take delivery to keep that $1,000 discount on full self-driving. They're now emailing reservation holders saying, quote, "As an early reservation holder, you have access to a reserved FSD price of $7,000. To keep this price, you'll need to take delivery by June 15th, 2025. After June 15th, 2025, FSD Supervised will be available at the latest price, which is currently $8,000. Now, in some sense, I do understand that Tesla probably needs to put some sort of deadline on this. They have a lot of people just holding on to their reservations for a very long time. And long term, they hope that they're achieving unsupervised FSD and that they can raise the price of full self-driving. So maybe it will get somewhere like $20,000 for this system, and then people are still holding on to that $7,000 and waiting to cash in on that lower price. But doing this today actually just seems like an unfortunate way to drive demand. But maybe they're really trying to see who is actually going to buy this truck versus who's going to cancel their order when we ask them to take delivery. I'm curious as well, will this work? A $1,000 discount on a car that is now shown to be depreciating by $30,000 or more, and a car that people were expecting to cost about $30,000 less than this? We'll have to see. I drive the Cybertruck, and it's a very incredible vehicle with tons of incredible technology. The tech is great, but the price price just really needs to come down. And it seems that Tesla is not there on their cost to actually bring down this price anytime soon. But what do you think about this move? Does this make sense on Tesla's part, or is it an unfortunate way for them to hopefully create demand for the Cybertruck? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see my top tips and tricks for the Model 3 and Y in their latest versions, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.